going to start our tour at the back of the ship on deck 6 and then work our way forward and up. Now, as a heads up, we did something to our camera so it doesn't seem to be stabilizing very well in this video. There are times that it appears as if the ship is really leaning. It's not. Alright, so we're at the mix bar between Taste and Savor, and they make a lot of great drinks here.
Here is the Taste restaurant. We ate here one evening and it is one of the 3 included restaurants, and they all seem to have the same menu every night. We're sure that they share the same kitchen. And we found that the food in the main dining rooms to be a bit bland on this cruise.
Alright, so we're back at the mix bar and we're headed towards the Savor restaurant. Again, it's one of the included dining rooms, and really it's very, very similar to Taste. Now, we were on the Norwegian Encore last spring. We felt like the food was overall maybe a little better on that ship. It's not to say this food was bad, just maybe not as good as the Encore.
Now we're walking through the art gallery that seems to be a staple on most cruise ships.
So this is teppanyaki on board the Norwegian Getaway. We didn't eat in this restaurant. We've eaten at these places back home, and they're always a lot of fun. This teppanyaki seemed very busy throughout the entirety of the cruise.
We sailed over New Year's 2025, and the ship was still decorated for the winter holidays. There were Christmas trees and at least one menorah that we saw. Additionally, they had a few amazing gingerbread villages on the ship, and that was just really cool to see.
And now we're walking into Le Bistro. It's Norwegian's French restaurant, and it is easily our favorite specialty dining experience, really on, I think, any ship. This ship did not disappoint. The decor was beautiful, and the food was excellent.
Now we're going to head across the ship to Headliners, and this is the comedy club, and it also served as the piano bar. It was typically standing room only. As you can see, it is a decent sized venue, but it was standing room only.
So we're coming up on the atrium bar, and it was a good bar. They made good drinks, but it was typically about 3 people deep in the evenings, so beware. There's also an internet cafe and a Starbucks here in the lobby. This is guest services. There was often a line, but they did have people kind of working the line to help with smaller issues.
And here we have the shore excursion desk, and we never really seen it that busy.
Maybe on the nights before ports, but not much. Now, they almost always had something fun and interesting going on in the atrium. Again, you're probably going to notice the weird tilt of our camera, but then again, I'm probably more annoyed by it than you are.
This is the Illusionarium, and this is one of the coolest venues on the ship, and unfortunately it was seriously underutilized. They used to perform an illusion-based dinner theater show here, but now it's just used for like an escape room type game, and sometimes they used it as a waiting area for shore excursions. It's really sad because the space is really amazing.
All right, so we've made our way up one deck to the Getaway Theater. It's at the front of the ship. Now, the $1 Million Quartet was featured here on our sailing, and it was a great show. And as we walk by the box office, there's one thing to note. If you want to see the shows in the theater, you should be sure to check in online, get reservations so that you can get there for the show ahead of time, because space filled up fast, and there were lines all the way out past the entrance for the show. All right, so we're going to go in kind of the back entrance to O'Shea's here. Now that bowling was actually kind of fun, but be aware it costs $5 a person to play. And the basketball games were a blast, and even more important, I hold the family record score, so I got that going for me. And hey, by the way, if you're looking to book a cruise on the Getaway or any other vacation, get in touch with us at the contacts below. We often have access to exclusive promos and pricing that you may not be able to find anywhere else, and we'd love to help you out.
Now we're entering one of O'Shea's main entrances. On the left, you'll see the atrium, and on the right, it's the main dining area, and you have to check in at the podium. Be aware, don't just go and sit at a table and expect food. They're pretty adamant that you check in and let the host or hostess know that you're there.
Now, this is kind of the bar area for O'Shea's, as you can see. They had some fun games in here as well, and if you look down this way, you'll see where we just were with the basketball and bowling. When we were on board, several people were playing pool, which was kind of cool. And these dartboards were fun, but in our experience, they didn't really work very well.
This seating right here is overlooking the atrium, which was great for watching the events down below. And this is actually where we celebrated New Year's Eve, and they had a really big balloon drop. It was a lot of fun. Here we have the Getaway Casino. They had tons of slots and a wide variety of table games. They also did some sports betting on board for football games.
So the main part of the casino was non-smoking, and they had a glassed-off area where smoking was permitted. About the only place we noticed the smell of smoke was right outside the doors, and there was a door here, and there's also a door in another spot. And that was the only place we noticed the smell of smoke.
Here is the Bliss Ultra Lounge. This is the nightclub on board, and it seemed pretty vibrant in the evenings.
Yeah, there were a lot of people coming and going. Now here on the left, you'll see Shanghai's Noodle Bar. It was very busy most of the cruise, and we hoped to check it out on this cruise. Unfortunately, we were really just too busy. And now we're making our way to the Manhattan room.
This is the final main dining room on board. It serves the same menu as Taste and Savor, and it's decorated with a bit of an elevated feel, and it has larger tables to accommodate like bigger groups.
Yeah, if you look here to the left, you should see some of the bigger tables. And we saw a number of like large parties enjoying dinner together there. And then in the back, there's the windows looking out the back of the ship, and there's a dance floor and a stage. We know they do a dinner show with dancing and music in here, but the timing never aligned for us to be able to see it. So now we're on deck 8, right above the Manhattan room, and this is the Prime Meridian Bar. It's actually one of probably our 2 favorite bars on board. This bar was right between the Brazilian steakhouse and the regular steakhouse. Here is Moderno Churrascaria. I think that's how you pronounce it. We ate dinner here one night, and it was amazing.
And on this side, we've got Cagney's, and it's just the regular steakhouse.
We ate at the steakhouse the last time we were on Norwegian. This time we tried the Brazilian.
As soon as you step out of the steakhouse area, you can take a quick peek outside and you'll find Dolce Gelato and the bake shop. And I've had gelato on board before and it's delicious.
All right, so we're gonna make our way by the elevators here, and we have to say probably the only time the elevators were really busy was on embarkation day and of course debarkation day.
Here's the shopping area. They had all sorts of things for you to buy. Anything from shirts to watches to cameras and jewelry.
So like every other cruise ship.
Like every other cruise ship.
Now the shops are closed when the ship is in port, but it seemed like every evening on board this was a bustling area of activity, and there was always a sale of some sort going on.
Here you can stop by the Raw bar for a fun snack or meal. And here we have Ocean Blue, the seafood restaurant on board. They have a great selection of fish and seafood as well as wine and cocktails.
And also in this area is Wasabi. It's the onboard sushi restaurant. And now we're making our way to the Sugarcane Mojito Bar. It's a great place for a mojito or tropical cocktail. They also play great live music every night. I don't know if it's salsa or what it is. We're walking by the Sky Bar as well. It seemed pretty popular, but we never made our way inside.
Coming up on the right here, we are approaching the Sunset Bar, and this was our favorite bar on board. The atmosphere was great, and it offered excellent people watching.
And then you'll see the Humidor, which is really, pretty easy to understand. It's a place that you can buy and smoke cigars on board. And this is the outside bar for Sid Norman's.
Across the hall here, this is La Cucina. It's the Italian restaurant on the Getaway, and we ate here on the last night of our cruise and it was wonderful. They made it feel like authentic Italian, and I'm sure purists would disagree, but we enjoyed our dinner and we even witnessed a marriage proposal.
And then across the way here is Sid Norman's Poorhouse. And it was the best. It was our favorite event on the ship. It was so much fun. It's a cool venue that's supposed to feel like LA's famous nightclubs. The music was a blast from the 70s, 80s, and 90s, so we're probably dating ourselves a little bit. The singers, they were dressed as servers, and they had all kinds of music trivia knowledge, and then they would jump on stage and sing.
Now we've moved up to deck 15. Now we didn't get any footage from inside the Haven, but we did get a chance to eat dinner one night at the Haven restaurant, and it was a great experience from beginning to end.
Now the Mandara Spa and Pulse Fitness Center are both on deck 15. The Pulse Fitness Center looked to be very well equipped and fairly well utilized on this cruise. And we didn't use any of the services of the Mandara Spa. Maybe next time.
Now we step out onto the Lido deck, and this is one of the rare times that I didn't see anyone on this ping pong table.
And here's where they do the sail away party. And this pool area seems to be a little on the small side. So if you're a sun lover, you can find more loungers in other areas of the ship, or consider the Vibe Beach Club or Spice H2O.
The Waves pool bar is a great place to grab a cool beverage when you're having fun around the pool.
Now, I always love to try the water slides, but the weather was never really warm enough on this cruise for me to give them a try. And then they managed to sneak a little pool, like regular pool, into the middle of all of this, but it didn't seem like it got used very much.
And now we're here at the Kids Aqua Park.
It's a real cute little area. Wish I was a kid.
Here we're walking into the Garden Cafe. This was one of the best cruise buffets that we've ever been to. Breakfast is hard to mess up, but lunch as well as the dinner food was really good too.
Yeah, we hung out in here quite a bit on a couple of days. We found a spot and played some cards, and we would take breaks and get snacks, and it was just a very comfortable place to hang out. Although I think some of the people were annoyed because we get a little loud when we play cards.
This is deck 16 on the back of the ship. And here's the Spice H2O. It's an adults only area during the day and has more available loungers for enjoying the sun. And at night they open it up to all ages and have some fun parties back there.
Now here we're walking by Entourage, and it's the teen club for ages 13 through 17. They have clubs for all ages. They're kind of tucked away in different parts of the ship. And of course, the teen club is conveniently located next to the video arcade. So this is a pretty well set up arcade on board, and you can purchase like a ship long pass, I think also a day pass. And that worked out really well for one of the young people that was in our group. He got his money's worth out of it, I think.
Here we're walking into the American Diner. And it's a fun 50s style diner with a surprisingly wide variety on the menu, and it's included in your cruise fare.
And here's a tip. It's open for breakfast. It has an omelet station and pretty much everything else. So if the buffet is too crowded, go upstairs to the diner.
The upper deck of the pool area has quite a few sun loungers and space to enjoy the fun below.
We had a really good time on the getaway. We really enjoyed ourselves, and hopefully you will too. And this is where we're going to wrap up our video. We hope it helped you get a feel for the Norwegian Getaway. So thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to see more of our videos.